It's clear from these poll results that there is widespread community anger in response to the O'Farrell government's cuts to public education. $1.7 billion being slashed from public schools and TAFE colleges. And indeed, at a time when we have the federal Labor government pledging to increase funding to public schools across the nation, we see a state government like this one in New South Wales cutting funding. 1,800 positions, teaching and non-teaching positions being slashed from the system. And in these poll results we find that 28%, only 28% of voters in New South Wales would have voted for the O'Farrell government if they declared that they were going to do this to our students. So it's clear that this campaign against these cuts will be widespread, it will be long running, and we're determined to have this government reverse these funding cuts. These results tell us that 82% of people believe that public education funding should be increased. People do understand in New South Wales that we need high quality public education, high quality public health care, and this government's cuts, they were not telegraphed, they were not told to the people of New South Wales before the election last year, and now people feel betrayed. So there will be widespread community backlash to the O'Farrell government's actions against our students, and indeed, if our students are to suffer the consequences of these cuts, then National and Liberal Party members of Parliament across this state will also suffer the consequences. People will not stand by and allow public education to be treated this way. The Teachers Federation will be mounting a widespread campaign urging people to rise up and oppose these cuts, to force this government to reverse these cuts and protect our students' education. Well, it's clear that the O'Farrell government believes they have such a majority that they can make these damaging cuts to public schools and TAFE colleges. Well, I'm sure there are lots of Liberal and National Party members of Parliament who are now very nervous about the results of this poll. 70% of people in New South Wales oppose these cuts. 82% believe that funding should be increased for our public school and TAFE college students. So these politicians in the O'Farrell government will have to experience the consequences of these attacks on our students' education. This is one poll, but in terms of this campaign will continue right through until the next state election. This government may believe it has a commanding majority now given the result last year, but these damaging cuts, not just in education but also in healthcare, concerned citizens will make their views known, and indeed the consequences will be that this government will lose seats, many seats at the next election, if this is the way to treat our public school students. The next election may be some time away, March 2015, but as we've seen previously with governments that attack public education funding in this way, over time people do realise the consequences and governments get voted out for attacking public education and public health care in this way. And we believe that this poll indicates that citizens across New South Wales are not prepared to sit back and cop this kind of treatment. The Teachers Federation is looking to work with parents, with the principal organisations, with other unions affected by the O'Farrell government's actions. We're looking to mount a strong, widespread community campaign in response to these cuts. Sometime in November we will be holding a community day of action. We'll be urging citizens to come out and to stand up against this government, and that kind of campaigning will continue into next year and beyond if necessary. Every Liberal and National Party member of this New South Wales government will be held to account for these damaging attacks on our students' education. We have 1,800 positions being cut from TAFE colleges and public schools in New South Wales, and now we hear today of more cuts to the public healthcare system. This government will be held to account, and there should be many nervous Liberal and National Party members of Parliament who are going to be held to account for these damaging attacks on our students' education.